Alina Habba. Alina, great to see you. Thank you for being here. The good news about, I think, from my perspective, about what's happening is it's really pulling the curtain back, and we see that the only when they get so desperate, failing through due process to do what might be necessary to challenge Donald Trump, they throw due process out the window, and you see how corrupt these prosecutions really are.
That's 100% right, David. I mean, how much more obvious can they be at this point? Yeah. They literally can't beat him in the polls, so they don't even want him to be an option for you. So if you take him off and you take away Americans' right to choice, to choose who they want to elect, to not only choose, but to choose who seems to be leading by independents, definitely leading by the Republican Party, and you're going to take him off the ballot because you're so afraid that the mess that you've made and the regime in the Washington corruption is going to get cleaned up in 2024 if he gets back there. And this is such a desperate attempt. Honestly, it's funny to me to watch that woman from Maine speak.
She's not a lawyer, by the way. I should have thrown that in as well.
I was just going to say that she is not a lawyer. And here, Section 300, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what you've done? You've made your team look like a fool, just like Colorado, the Bud Light of all states. And now we've got to see this go through again, and we're going to defeat it like we always do. If anything, thank you very much. You probably flipped some left-wingers from Maine to the Republican Party. I mean, it's crazy.
And, Alina, that's what happens every single time they come after Donald Trump in some way. His poll numbers go up because people see the injustice in it. But to a certain degree, when they cause a ruckus like this, they do present a legal problem for you. How do you combat this? How do you move forward?
Very simply, because some of us understand the law. Some of us understand what the Constitution says, due process. There are certain amendments that are still enabled by the Constitution that we have to abide by. And I think the Supreme Court will do the right thing. They'll give us some clarity on this. But I can tell you that these are so crazy. The Jack Smiths, the DAs, the AGs, they've become so deranged, so obsessed with taking down Trump that the law doesn't make sense to them because they don't care about it. But people like me, we take it one step at a time. We look at case law. We look at things that are precedent for this country. We look at the Constitution, and we will raise those all the way up to the Supreme Court when we have to. And they're taking issue with this. You just saw Jack Smith get shut down because he tried to rush his trial, his bogus trial, because he wants it before the election. We got Fannie in Georgia doing the same thing. This Maine woman that thinks she's a lawyer, she's another one. You're not making a good name for yourself, and you're going to go down on the wrong side of history. We'll take it one step at a time, and I'm not concerned.
Well, the bottom line of all of this, and you alluded to it just then, is that Jack Smith and the rest of the prosecutors have one thing in mind. They want to interfere in the election. They want to interfere in Donald Trump's attempt, first of all, to campaign and then to get into the White House if he is elected freely and fairly. And I think that is what is clear. That's why the Supreme Court shut down Jack Smith, isn't it?
100%. They shut him down because they said, you're not a special. This is not anything different. You're going to go through things the way everybody else does. And that was really, I commend them because they saw through the garbage and they said, no. There's no urgency. There's no rush. The only urgency you have is that your Soros backing is requiring you to answer to Biden and everybody else who wants to win unfairly, just like in 2020, and keep fighting in an incorrect manner. What is so wrong with fighting and winning fair and square? Yeah. And guess what? If you think you're so good, let him on the ballot. Let him on the ballot and win. But you can't because, like you said, our borders are a mess. Our country is a mess. The economics are terrible. The American people have had it. The desperation is obvious. It's just obvious.
And that's the thing, Alina, when they use diversionary tactics like this, to me, as you watch this play out, you're basically sitting there saying, wow, you are that scared of him. You are that scared that if he is on the ballot, he will absolutely annihilate you, that you have to go to these lengths.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, Alina, we thank you. I know do you ever get any sleep, by the way?
Yeah. I do. I get great sleep. I feel
Okay.
good. You know what? I'm never tired. This is the best job I could have, honestly.
bless you.
I'm really proud to be on the right side of history.
Well, congratulations for sticking with it. And again, you're one thing. Donald Trump's another.
Yeah.
He also, I wonder how he has the strength to go on, but he never fails to do that.
Amazing stamina.
Alina Habba, thank you so much
he's
for being here.
something.
Happy
Appreciate
New
it.
Year.
So, of
you.
course,